Welcome to Syosset High School's annual Transition Night for students with disabilities. Thank you for joining us. My name is Marta Muller, and I will be discussing the transition needs and readiness for students with learning differences. Throughout the presentation, you will be hearing statements from former students regarding their personal thoughts and feelings about their experiences with transition to college. In addition, at the end of the presentation, guest speakers will share important information about their programs and supports available to our students post-graduation. Please peruse the ancillary materials that were included in the folder you accessed to join this evening. The flyers and the Transition Handbook are all excellent resources that parents, students, and teachers, as well as support staff, can use to help make decisions and choices regarding post-secondary placements for our students after they graduate from Syosset High School. I would like to begin this evening by having all of you at home take a virtual quiz. I will share the slides with you, and then throughout the evening I will be answering and explaining the questions in a detailed, more thorough response.
If it wasn't for my mother, I would have never graduated from high school.
In high school, my special education teachers wouldn't leave me alone. Now that I'm at college, I miss them.
The question I ask myself every hour is, what should I be doing now?
Let's take a quick quiz.
Question number 1. Since my daughter has been accepted to college, she will no longer need any extra help. The answer is false. Question number 2. My IEP will be a legal document while in college. The answer is false. Question number 3. Having a diagnosis means your daughter will have the same accommodations in college. The answer is false. Question number 4. The colleges and universities will decide what accommodations are reasonable. The answer is true. Question number 5. Your son or daughter will not be expected to read and write as well as other students because he or she has learning difficulties. The answer is false. Question number 6. Your daughter or son's professors will know about her learning disabilities or his learning disabilities without having them tell. The answer is false. Question number 7. The professors in college will automatically know that their students should have extended time on their tests. The answer is false. When considering where your son or daughter will be next year, you must be able to understand the legal aspects that fall into place post-graduation. Questions need to be asked, such as how to choose the right college or post-secondary placement, and also understand how to assess the needs of your child.
The professor never reminded us. He should have reminded us that our exam was on the day before Thanksgiving.
I chose to go to community college with extra support in smaller classes because of my learning disability, and I got to live at home, and that helps.
What you can expect: a decrease in teacher and student contact, an increase in academic competition, a change in personal support network, and a loss of the protective public school environment. Accommodations. It is also important to understand that accommodations are legally mandated if appropriately registered by Section 504 to provide handicapped individuals with access to programs. It is of the utmost importance to remember that accommodations do not involve changing the academic requirements of a program. So let's ask the question, what should we look for in a college program? Admission inquiries as to an applicant's disability are prohibited unless the information is 1. Requested on a voluntary basis, or 2. Requested for purposes of ensuring adequate services. This information cannot be distributed to the colleges and/or programs without your permission, your signature, and the student's signature. How to select the best school? First, you must identify and compare the types of schools and post-secondary settings. Second, you need to determine your young adult's readiness for different post-secondary settings. And third, you should be aware of each individual program. Understand what the requirements are. Is algebra required for next year? Is a language required in order for them to complete their 4-year degree? And finally, understand and research program descriptions. Don't just apply to colleges without looking at the program descriptions. If your son or daughter needs support in high school, most likely they will need support in college. It's really important to be realistic about the choices when choosing colleges or post-secondary placements for your son or daughter next year. Fair Test is a wonderful resource to use when researching colleges that do not require SAT or ACT scores. Here are just a few programs and National Liberal Arts colleges that do not require ACT or SAT scores. I'm sure there's an updated list on the website today, and there may be many more added as a result of COVID-19. Here's a few more. How to select the best school. Again, depends on how well you understand your children and their capabilities. Be realistic. It's important that you visit the individual program offices and make appointments to speak with them about the type of support your son or daughter will be receiving. Ask many questions and feel free to use the ancillary materials that were included in the link to this meeting this evening. It's also very important that you understand the results of the psychoeducational assessment, the educational evaluation, and the IEP. Not only should you understand those results, but your son or daughter should. Self-advocating is one of the most important aspects of this entire process. Your son or daughter will be attending college without you. They need to be able to understand their strengths, their weaknesses, and advocate for themselves. Making the match between the student and the setting, as you know, is not going to be an easy task. So you must consider realistic work programs, college or universities where you can actually see your child working, functioning independently. The questions that must be asked are, will they succeed there? Are they ready for rigorous amounts of academic responsibilities?
Some of the classes were not as hard as I thought they would be, and some were harder, but professors are willing to help and they have tutors.
I became unhappy at night. Students would talk in the hallway, or music would be playing in my dormitory. I discovered that I didn't like my campus.
Are the programs and support services a match for your child? Is the environment suitable? Will your child develop as a whole person? Are there financial concerns? Will the college help your child achieve after graduation? It is imperative that we consider the student as well. Emotional health is so very important these days. We want them to be happy, healthy, and to enjoy the college experience. What are the student goals? Interests? How mature are they? Are they independent? Does your son or daughter have the personal and social skills? Do they have the executive functioning skills and organizational skills necessary to succeed in school? It is also imperative that the students have the self-advocacy, self-esteem, and confidence to succeed. If they're not exhibiting these qualities right now, then maybe going away is not a good choice. Make spreadsheets. Write down the pros and cons, utilizing the worksheets provided in the transition manual.
Although meeting new people is difficult for me, I decided to join a learning disability support group. I also participated in intramural sports and made other good friends. That made all the difference.
During my first IEP meeting, I was asked if I wanted to go to college. If I did, then I needed college qualification courses in English, chemistry, and biology during my senior year.
During my first semester, I took 5 courses. It was too many. I should have taken 3, but my friends registered for 5, so I did 2. In the end, I couldn't keep up and I failed.
You need to be independent in college. You need to know that if you don't study, it's not going to get done. I had to grow up. I had to study because I want to study, not because someone told me to.
I decided to go to school because of a specific major. It was a smaller school with a smaller class size. It was a smaller learning environment. I wanted teachers to know who I was, not a number.
Institutional characteristics will vary from school to school. Analyze each individual characteristic. Does your child want to be living in a small campus, an urban campus, a rural campus? Do they know the difference between the three? Does the school have the degree or interests that they would like to pursue? Are there sororities and clubs they might like to participate in? Their social emotional health needs to be a priority, or the rest will not fall into place. Once your child is accepted into the program, and your child can then make an appointment to interview with the support staff, as previously discussed. Have your child prepare for the interview and bring a list of questions. See the booklet that I've included in the materials for questions that they may choose prior to attending the interview. In addition, our instruction support program and our resource rooms will provide the students with practice prior to going to their interviews. Ultimately, we want our students to stay in college and have a well-rounded experience. Analyze the supports available. If your son or daughter is utilizing instructional support in smaller classes now, they will probably continue to need such support in college.
Some students believe that they should get whatever they ask for, that they don't understand that their colleges can only provide certain levels of support.
Each college will decide what accommodations are appropriate for your son or daughter. It will be important for them to share their documentation, the IEP, EdEval, and PsychEval, with the appropriate personnel, and then they will decide what accommodations they will provide. Each school has the right to decide what accommodations will be approved. What does it all mean? Office of Disability Services, Services for Students with Disabilities, SALT, DSS, CSD, STEEP, ACE, ARP, IUB, DSS, LAC, DS, AS, oh my gosh. There are so many different titles for all of the different programs. It is so challenging to look up every single one. But an expert once told me, and you'll be hearing from her in just a bit, rule of thumb, if you cannot locate the support services or programs easily on the internet, then they do not really have much to offer, because there are many different levels of support ranging from least to most. You will find that some even charge additional fees. Our curriculum was designed to prepare our students to understand their documentation, understand their strengths, understand their weaknesses, and ensure that they have created personal and appropriate goals for post-secondary settings.
More importantly, we ensure that educational goals match the student's highest abilities. And finally, we provide college and career readiness skills for all students.
Seniors should focus on their academics, do the best they can first and second semester of next year. Their grades do matter and will be sent to colleges mid-year. They can also be preparing their essays and activity sheets throughout the summer, so in September, it'll be easier for them to work on them and revise and edit what is necessary before the college applications are submitted. It's also important to adhere to timelines and deadlines. The students will use the Naviance Family Connections together with their guidance counselors throughout the college application process. It's super important that all of the students know their passwords for Naviance, Common App, College Board, ACT, etc. Please make sure that they are part of the process in creating the applications and the username and passwords. Students can begin to create their activity sheets, including many of these activities here. Fundraisers, clubs, sports teams, etc. Counselors will be asking for a completed activity sheet at the beginning of senior year. This is my favorite slide. There has been more than $550,000 in scholarship monies awarded to our students today. I have a bulletin board of all the colleges that students were accepted to. Now I'm beginning a bulletin board of all of the colleges students are committing to. It's very impressive, and we are very proud. I would first like to introduce Ms. Beth Waschitz and Ms. Patty Haddow, our Syosset High School guidance counselors, to share information about how our special education department collaborates with our guidance department before and during the transition process.
Hi, I'm Patty Haddow, and on behalf of the entire guidance department, we would like to welcome you all here this evening. As you navigate through the college process, we want you and your child to know that you are not alone. The guidance department works closely with you, your child, and the special education teachers to ensure a smooth transition from high school to college. We will all work together to help guide your family through the college process. The next slide will better help you understand what to expect in the junior year. So on December 1st, the guidance department held the college planning workshop at night to give juniors and their parents an overview of the entire college exploration process. If you did not attend, no worries. There is a handout posted on the guidance website, and the counselors will cover all the same topics in depth during your child's individual junior college planning meeting. Parents were informed that evening that they can go ahead and call the guidance department in order to set up their child's junior college planning meeting. In addition to talking about the high school transcript, standardized tests, and how they, along with other factors, impact the college admissions process, we spoke about the upcoming program planning process. The senior year is an important factor in the college admissions decision. We start the program planning process with our juniors in January. So on January 30th, all juniors will meet with their guidance counselors in a group setting to discuss the program planning process. And then during the week of March 6th, they will have their individual scheduling meetings with us. We encourage the students to continue to challenge themselves to the best of their ability with a program that is manageable. That's the operative word, manageable.
Thanks, Mrs. Haddow. I am Beth Waschitz, and we will now dig a little bit more into the college planning process. Anytime between now and the end of April, 11th grade families will have a junior planning meeting with their counselor. This meeting is an individualized review of the student's college planning process, where we will look at the student's transcript, including courses taken, trends a college might note, and a discussion of possible college majors of interest. We encourage families to submit the college search checklist. This checklist gives families an opportunity to note any preferences with respect to many factors, including but not limited to location or campus size. For example, some students feel strongly about attending college within driving distance to home, whereas other students are comfortable with the idea of airplane travel. Some students thrive in a small class setting at Syosset High School with approximately 20 to 30 students. Others do their best with even fewer students in a classroom of 12. For some students, class size isn't a key factor, and they aren't fazed when they visit a campus and see a lecture hall with hundreds of seats. This is something to think about when selecting a college. In your junior planning meeting, your counselor will also discuss other important admissions factors, including requesting letters of recommendation, writing a college essay, and presenting extracurricular activities, internships, and summer experiences. This year on April 26th, Guidance will host our annual college night where more than 100 colleges will be available to speak with Syosset families. Throughout the spring and next fall, juniors can register to take the SAT or ACT with testing accommodations so they can submit their scores if needed as part of the application process. Our guidance department also offers a college essay writing workshop in the spring and fall to help students with their college essays. It's important for families to research colleges of interest. Naviance is a research tool with career planning and college admissions data from previous Syosset students, and this can be helpful when students are deciding where to apply. Additionally, nothing can replace a college visit when a student is deciding if a college is the right fit. Colleges offer campus tours and information sessions throughout the semester and even during the summer. Many colleges also offer open houses on weekends during the spring for prospective students. Check the individual college websites for more information. To assist throughout this process, the Guidance Department offers several publications. The College Planning Guide for students with learning differences has on-campus contact information for services for students with learning differences. The College Planning Guide is a supportive resource throughout the entire admissions process, and the Campus Connection book has telephone numbers and email addresses for Syosset graduates and their parents at numerous college campuses, so students and parents can reach out and ask any questions about the college in particular and the transition to life on campus. Thank you for the opportunity to share information from the Guidance Department. We really look forward to seeing you at College Night.
Remember that programs for students with learning differences can vary from college to college, which in turn means the level of support. The SALT program at the University of Arizona is just one example of the many options available to students while they are in college. The Strategic Alternative Learning Techniques SALT Center is an academic support program that provides services to University of Arizona students with learning and attention challenges. Their innovative approach is recognized as one of the most successful at promoting student achievement at the university setting. Please make sure to inquire about the level of support colleges can offer to your child. They can be the deciding factor when choosing a college.
Hello, my name is Daniel Linden. I'm a Director of Student Support Services here at the SALT Center.
Hi, I'm Sarah Sampay, Assistant Director for Admissions and Recruitment here at the SALT Center.
Welcome to our presentation. We are the SALT Center, and we specialize in academic support for students with mild to moderate learning challenges here at the University of Arizona.
I grew up in a Wildcat household. Both my parents went to the University of Arizona, and it was obvious how much they loved the U of A. And I finally understood why when I went there myself. Before college, I struggled with ADD, dyslexia, visual and auditory perception impairments. And despite all of that, I knew I was still a really smart kid that could compete everywhere in life, just not in the classroom. But the U of A's SALT Center, they helped me change all of that. The SALT Center is the nation's leading academic support program for college students that learn differently. Living up to their name, SALT taught me how to leverage my own strategic, alternative learning techniques. 20 years later, I own a video marketing agency in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I still use SALT's techniques every single day. Now I learned really quickly, and nobody would ever guess or even have the slightest clue that I used to struggle to compete. Today, more than 550 U of A students utilize SALT Center services, whether they have learning disabilities, attention deficit and hyperactive disorder, or a range of other learning differences. The SALT Center is there to help them fulfill their dreams of earning a college degree. SALT taught me how to bear down in my own very unique way, and for that, I'm forever grateful.
So a few things about us. We were established in 1980, and we're currently celebrating our 40th anniversary here at the University of Arizona. With that, we are unique to the University of Arizona. There are no other SALT centers out there in the world. We're strictly academic support. We're not a school within a school. So when your student comes to our campus and they utilize SALT Center services, they're taking University of Arizona courses, Research One courses. SALT is just their academic support home away from home, and we do have our own building here on campus. The building itself was designed for academic support. As a matter of fact, we have an American Institute of Architectural Technology award. Currently, there are about 35 full-time employees who work for our organization. These individuals do this for their livelihood. They don't substitute teach during the day and come in the afternoon. This is what they do for a living. Todd alluded to about 550 students utilize our services. It's more like 650 to 700 every semester who utilize SALT Center services. Now, historically, 85% of those students have remained in good academic standing here at the University of Arizona. And what that means is they've been able to earn and maintain a GPA of at least a 2.0 or higher. Now, with that, although that's an interesting and fun fact to throw out there, and we love saying it, we also have to throw out the disclaimer that SALT by no stretch of the imagination is a guarantee for success. However, when students use our program and they remain engaged, SALT is an amazing leg up. So when a student lets us know that, yes, we're coming to the University of Arizona, and yes, we're going to utilize SALT Center services, we welcome them to the family, but we also make them aware of the initial 2-semester commitment. That's usually their first fall and their first spring, okay? Every semester after that, they'll be given the choice on whether or not they want to return to receive SALT Center services. As you may have read or heard, we are an additional fee for service here at the university on top of standard U of A tuition, okay? There are 3 areas that more or less make us who we are as an organization, and Sarah will touch upon those right now.
The first area of support are our student support specialists. The student support specialists serve as the student's primary SALT Center contact. When students enroll in our program, they are assigned a support specialist, which they will meet with weekly for 30 minutes. That person is the person that they'll work with every single week, and they'll meet in the same office or Zoom room, whatever it is that they need. And that private appointment serves many different purposes, but the biggest role of the support specialist in the beginning is to really build relationships with the student. The support specialists want to get to know who the students are, how they learn, and the areas in which they need the most support. So they'll help students with transition support, transitioning from high school to college, with time management, organization, just really best practices for life. Of course, we also offer strategies because that's, our name. So we'll do strategies on several different topics. We also refer to our own SALT Center resources, which I'll talk about in just a second, as well as other University of Arizona resources. And we do support self-advocacy. Students are the main drivers for their support here at the university. The K-12 system is built to really for parents to be the advocates. That changes once they get to college. So we really want to help those students to develop those skills in self-advocacy. Our second area of support is tutoring, and we have several different options that are included within the fee. Our first is one-on-one tutoring. That is 60 minutes with a content area tutor. And those can be booked 24 hours in advance, or they could be standing appointments. So a student could meet with a tutor a few times a week once they get to know them. Additionally, if we have 2 or more students in a common course, which happens sometimes, we can set up small group reviews for those students. And then we also have a reading and writing lab as well as a math and science lab. The great things about the lab is that we do not require students to book in advance. So these operate mostly on a drop-in basis, and students can get help with any reading assignment, writing assignment, or math and science assignment, so dependent on the lab. But this is really a great option for those students who struggle with executive functioning. These options are delivered through a peer tutoring model. Our peer tutors we hire about 80 to 100 peer tutors, and that means that they're other University of Arizona students. They have to at least be sophomores, and they've had to have shown excellence in the courses that they tutor or the content area in which they're tutoring. And they focus on helping students to learn material independently. We have, the one-on-one 60-minute sessions, but that can fly by, especially if a student is struggling in, the area. So we want to make sure that when the student leaves our building or the tutoring session, that they can go back to their dorm, start up right where they left off. So our tutoring model is a bit different than they might be used to in high school. They also teach lifelong learning strategies, and that's really just based into our philosophy of really helping the students to learn how they learn and think about the ways in which they can best get the concepts. Our tutoring program is also actually certified by the CRLA. The CRLA is the College Reading and Learning Association, and that just means that we've gone through an extensive accreditation program in order to get certified. So what that means for our students is that our tutors are very well trained, and they have a unique training specific for learning how to work with students with learning and attention challenges. That makes us really unique to campus here, because there's several different tutoring options, but that makes us unique as far as serving your students. We also offer educational technology, and we have several different resources for that. Our building is actually integrated with different technologies, so students could use collaboration stations. We've got charging stations, touchscreen monitors, extended desktops, all the things that you could probably need or would need to be successful. Additionally, we have assistive technology, so we've got text-to-speech, speech-to-text, those types of applications, as well as a smart pen. And then we're also integrated within the university's online course management system. We have a portal there where students can access SALT Center information 24 hours a day. So in addition to the resources, we also have support available to students. When students transition into the university setting, sometimes the technology needs are a little bit higher than they might be used to, and so we have peer tech coaches who can help students with navigating their courses, organizing their cat mail, which is their email here, or different apps, installing different programs. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to our admissions team, which is on your screen. But we thank you so much for being here today, and we look forward to providing you more information on the SALT Center when you're ready.
Thank you for taking the time to view this video on transition and college readiness for students with learning differences. We hope that the information provided will help you and your child make the best informed decision for their future. In addition to this video, please explore the numerous links which will appear on the Syosset High School Special Education Department website. Also, review the government agency materials link and contact the Special Education Department or the Guidance Department if you have any unanswered questions. We wish your child much success and happiness in their future endeavors. I would like to conclude with a quote from Janetta V. Cole. "We are for difference, for encouraging difference, until difference no longer makes a difference." Good luck in your quest to find the match for post-secondary placements.